This poor pup was covered in so many flies, rescuers thought they'd arrived too late. When rescuers arrived on the scene, the flies were already swarming all over the little puppy's body. Tragically, it looked like they had arrived too late to save the dog from his suffering. In June 2016, rescuers from Animal Aid Unlimited, AAU, severely tested their resolve. After all, the charity workers are used to seeing harrowing sights, but this must have been one of the most heart-wrenching. Still, the diligent employees of the organization work around the clock. Yes, they treat wounded animals in the charity's hospitals and provide stray creatures with homes or sanctuary, among other things. Sadly, no one can say how long the pitiful puppy had been in failing health, nor is it possible to say how many people saw and ignored him. However, he had evidently been disregarded for quite some time. Fortunately, though, not everyone walked on by. Yep, somebody had seen the puppy and cared enough to take action. That Good Samaritan called Animal Aid Unlimited, which sent out an ambulance to the dog's location. In fact, when rescuers arrived at the location, they found the poor pooch lifeless and prone under a car. In fact, with no one to care for him, the ill dog had nowhere to go for help, and presumably it had crawled under the vehicle to die. He certainly looked dead. The dog's rescuers weren't the only ones who thought so. Flies covered the puppy's body as if they thought he was already dead, read a statement on AAU's official website. But our rescue team found that the puppy's heart was still beating, said AAU, and while the heartbeat was faint, the little fighter was definitely not dead yet. Obviously in desperate need of care, the little dog, now named Oliver, was sped to AAU's hospital. Still, they barely made it in time. Although they had found Oliver before he had passed, his prognosis was not good. His life hung in the balance. At that point, we truly did not believe he would survive, Animal Aid wrote, but as we do with all of our rescues, we wanted to give him a chance. But Oliver's body was dangerously cold, and he was severely dehydrated from his life on the streets. Animal Aid Unlimited staff did everything they could for Oliver. For instance, they used hot water bottles to warm the puppy's stone-cold body, and they attempted to rehydrate him with IV fluids. Within an hour, this gentle little spirit amazed us, the organization wrote. After receiving fluids for an hour, he started to look around. Suddenly, his carers felt hope. After all, the plucky puppy just kept on astounding the AAU staff. Later that same day, Oliver began trying to stand on his own, Animal Aid's recovery video reported, and while he didn't have the strength to support his own weight fully, he was at least no longer alone. After Oliver's condition had stabilized a little, doctors were able to make a diagnosis on the young pup. Sadly, it wasn't good news. We diagnosed his illness as a severe respiratory infection, AAU said. As it turned out, it took 8 weeks for Oliver to fight off the infection. Throughout his battle with the illness, his survival expectations were touch and go. During the 2 months that followed, his condition would improve but then decline, AAU said. Thankfully, the plucky pooch was a survivor. After a lengthy battle with his infection, he amazed the charity with his ability to bounce back from what looked like a death sentence. Now he's fully recovered and a happy little fur baby with as much energy as any other healthy puppy. Indeed, seeing him bounce around, showering his rescuers with affection and kisses, is heart-melting. Animal Aid uploaded Oliver's rescue to YouTube, where it has touched so many hearts online. It has received over 1,942,000 views to date, with over 26,000 upvotes. According to Animal Aid Unlimited India, the organization saves countless animals on a daily basis, and thanks to it and the support it receives from the public, Oliver had a chance at a new life.